Hi there, welcome back to the Box of Lights game channel. We're playing Snowdonia, the board game. I'm going to begin this episode with a quick update, or correction, from the last episode where we played out this excavation event where the board game removed a certain number of rubble according to the current work rate. And with a work rate of 4, I removed 4 pieces of rubble. In actual fact, what I should have done is removed not 4 pieces of rubble, but rubble from 4 excavation sites. So let's put that rubble back and I'll show you how I should have done that. There we go, by the powers of video magic, those 4 rubble are now back. What I should have done is cleared off from the bottom upwards the next 4 excavation sites. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright? Makes sense? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I said that was really good last time because it kind of left me the opportunity here to put some victory points down. I can't put victory points down now because the game has cleared these off. Notice that means we can't get any victory points for clearing this and this now, so it's kind of worked against us. Alright, but we can still build on this station. I don't have any coal this turn, so I can't take an extra worker from the pub, so I'm just going to take these 2. And I get to do 2 things then. And I'd quite like to grab one of these contract cards, and I'd also quite like to just grab some victory points by doing a little bit of excavating while it's still sunny, because I know I've got another round of sun and then I've got some fog coming up. So I'm going to place 1 excavation down here. It doesn't actually matter which one I put these in, they both perform the same. Notice if you did put one here and you were playing multiplayer, if you put an action pawn in the second spot on the stockyard action, you would also, and this black wooden train icon here shows you, if you put an action pawn here or worker here, you will actually get to be first player on the next turn, so you take the first player token, right? So that's what that means. But for B, it doesn't actually matter whether I place it 1 or 2. And then with my second action, I'm going to grab one of these contract cards, so I'm going to put a worker on F. And now we resolve from left to right. So resolving this one first, we get to excavate 4 rubble, because that's what our work rate track is telling us. So we're going to grab 4 cubes starting at the bottom, working up. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and this time we have managed to remove the last piece of rubble from an excavation spot. So these 4 go to our player area. And because we're the green player, we can take one of these green ownership markers and we'll place it here to indicate that at the end of the game, these 3, in the little victory point symbol here, these 3 victory points will be ours when we count up our score at the end of the game. So you don't need to keep a running count of your score. You use your ownership markers and then you can count your scores up at the end of the game. Alright, so that's 3 victory points for us. And when we're playing solo, remember, when we run out of those ownership tokens, we've got 16 of them, that's when the game will end if we don't make it to the top of Mount Snowdon. And so when you're playing solo, making those victory points count, maximising the value of each one of those green cubes is the way to getting a big score. I'm actually going to sneak a quick edit in here because I forgot the +2 bonus from my train, so I should have removed these extra 2 rubble as well. Just 1 up from Hebron Station. So remember it will be there for the start of the next episode, but a sneaky little mid-episode edit. My second action then is this one here at the site office. And we get to choose one of these 3 contract cards, and I think the one I'm going to take is this one. Now, I'm inexperienced at this game. Remember, I'm just trying to show you how this thing works as well. So that 40 VP action card that we let slip by us last turn on the first turn is starting to look quite good, but this one says if we get ownership of 2 tracks, then we get 15 VPs, and also we can use this ability at some point during an upcoming round. So I'm going to take this and place it in my player area. Now we can take our 2 workers back, restock the contract cards, 2, 3, that's good to see. Check our weather now, so these slide up and we're going to place a new one here which is yellow. And then because it's sunny now, we get to move the work rate up, 1 on the track and 2 on excavating. Excavating's already maxed out, so that can't go up any further, but we can put this one up. So we're as good as it gets now on the weather. And this one can go back to the box. And finally, we restock the stockyard. So we're going to pull another 6 cubes from here. Now here's the thing, these white ones, right, we've got 1 out on the board, but we've got 3 iron ore in our player area, there's 3 here, a few cubes here. You know, the more these types of cubes that stay out in the game, the more chance there is of getting another white one. So we've got to be a bit careful about recycling these resources. Maybe we'll do that next time. So we need to pull 6 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's pretty nasty. We've got 2 iron ore, 2 coal, but we've got 2 events. So these 2 go here, these 2 go here, and now we've got to play these events out one by one. So the first one is here, and what this means, it doesn't actually mean anything in solo. If you're playing multiplayer, at this point you would be able to buy trains from now on. Before this event came out you wouldn't, but now that we're playing solitaire we can't actually buy any more trains anyway, so this is a kind of a non-event when you're playing solitaire. But the next one is an event for us. And what this means is we have to lay track automatically according to the current work rate for laying track. And that work rate is currently 2. So starting at the bottom here, we were going to automatically lay 2 tracks. If this would take us up to beyond the next station, we would just ignore the station card and just carry on up the mountain. If there was any rubble on here, we would just remove it, and again it would go back to the box. And notice now that we've kind of lost an opportunity here. We can't claim the victory points for these 2 pieces of track. So now on round 3 we've got some decisions to make. We haven't got our extra worker, so grabbing some coal would be good. But at the same time, we've got to be a little bit careful because the next event coming up is the build station event, and that will put these white cubes back in the bag. I'd quite like to get some victory points from that station, and that means I need to get some stone. So let's try and go for an action C and a build action E. So let's grab my 2 workers and place them here. And once more, it doesn't matter which spot we put them in. This just says build a train or a station. So let's start resolving these actions. And we can do this. See, it says 3 times. We can do this up to 3 times. We can mix them out. So we could convert 3 iron ore into 1 steel, or we can convert 2 rubble into 1 stone. And we can do that in whatever combinations we wish up to 3 times. So I'm going to do that now. So first off, I'm going to convert these 3 iron ore into 1 steel bar. The good thing here is that these 3 iron ore, they go back to the supply bag, and the steel bar I'll take from the supply. Place this in my play area. So that's 1 time. Remember, the works action gives me up to 3 times, so I'm going to convert 2 rubble into a stone and another 2 rubble into 1 stone. So for 4 rubble, and these go back to the general supply, I can take 2 stone back to the general supply, but I don't grab the stone from the general supply. Instead, I have to take the stone, not from the stockyard, but from the supply bag. So you're going to have to just root around in here and find 2 pieces of stone that you're looking for. These will all get mixed back up again, and now I can put these in my player area. And that's all 3 of those works action spent. For my second action then, I can do my build action. And because there's 2 spaces, remember you could do this with two workers if you wish each round. But I've just got 1 worker here, so I ignore this because I'm playing solitaire. I can't buy a new train, but I can build. So here's my non-excavation sites on the station. This one's going to cost me 4 stone for 9 VP, 3 stone for 7, 2 for 4 VP, or 1 stone for 1 VP. Now it would have been economical to wait and get 2 more stone and take the 9 victory points. But what I'm worried about is that another white cube's going to come out and I'm going to lose this whole station anyway. I can't partially complete one of these non-excavation sites, so I can't put my 2 stone here, kind of bagging it and then putting another 2 stone next turn. I have to pay the full cost. So the only thing I can do, and what I want to do, is put my 2 stone here for 4 victory points. So with one action I've managed to grab myself 4 victory points. So I'm going to take my 2 stone and I'm going to place these 2 back in the supply bag, and then place my ownership token here to show that I've got those 4 VPs. And that's it. We've got through another actions phase, and now I can do the end of turn stuff. Need to go back to my supply. Contract cards get restocked. A nasty fog. These slide up. Grab a fog. Check the weather. Now this isn't going to affect our work rates, but what fog does say is we can't lay track and we can't excavate. So to represent this, we're going to grab the extra, there's a couple of spare fog markers here, and we're going to place them on the relevant actions. So one here and one here to remind us that we cannot, during fog, excavate or lay track. Okay. Should have flipped these over. This one looks like it might be quite neat. Now we restock the stockyard, 6 more cubes. That's 4. 5, 6. Okay, we did a little bit better that time. 3 stone, 2 iron ore, 1 coal. But it's got to be said, our supplies are running a bit low in that bag, so it's very unlikely we're going to get through another turn without a new event coming out. Well, that's it for this episode. I've managed to show you a few more different types of actions. Join me next time and we'll see how we can grab some more victory points.